it's Crystal Geneva here. I have not been on in so long. I missed you guys. I'm back with quarantine here because my hairdresser is not open yet. But it's definitely been a long time since I've been in front of all of you all leading workshops or doing videos. And this has definitely been a time of reflection for me. I have definitely grown and learned so much. And one of the things that I learned, I would love to share with you all. I've learned that in order to grow, you have to be very careful to plant yourself in soil that is nutritious to you. You have to make sure that you have the correct energy surrounding you, and you need to make sure that you have enough water and sunlight. And so, with that, I was thinking of a story that I can share with all of you guys. So I remember planting flowers with my grandmother. She had this beautiful garden and it won many awards over the years. And it was with her that I learned the life cycle of a perennial, or even what a perennial was. So, with the perennial, for those of you that don't know, they come back bigger and better every single year, but they also go dormant. They have a season that they go dormant to prepare for the next season. And so the message in that is that after you have planted yourself in good fertile ground and you have grown and you've had this great season, you have to make sure that you are taking time out to pause, to be still, and to reflect on your path. Go dormant for a little while. It's okay. You have to really look at how far you've come and where you're going and where you're at currently. And so during this season, during this quarantine season, I have allowed it to be my dormant season. I have watched people in full hustle mode. And as everything started to unfold and the stay-at-home orders came in, I watched a lot of people go into hustle mode even harder. I decided to take a different path because I realized that, hey, this is the perfect time for me to sit back and reflect a little bit. Um, with the last 5 years or so, I have definitely been building up to the headspace that I am in now. 2015 through 2019 were definitely years of preparation for me. A lot of you know my story. I definitely went through my valley experience during those years. I went through a lot of healing and discovery and growth and things like that, purging. 2020 has definitely been a year of stretching myself, of stepping outside of my comfort zone and growing. And, being a woman of faith, I definitely believe that what is meant to be will be. But I also believe that everything happens in God's timing. And so I've learned that as much as I want to control the outcome of everything, it's not for me to control. And I struggle with that. And I'm sure that any of you December Sages understand that. We struggle with that. We like to control things. But while I understand the needs, especially as a business owner, to have the strong media presence and post daily and stay consistent and all of those things that a marketing person definitely will tell you to do, I also understand the need for and the power in being in God's presence. So for me, it is more important that I stay in his face than it is for me to stay relevant on social media. I have learned that when you are obedient to God and you put him first, that your life will literally take a shift for the better. I have a gazillion favorite Bible verses. I can throw those at you all day. But one of my favorite is Psalms 34, like all of it. So, but I get particularly excited when we get to the verse 8. Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is the man that trusteth in him. I get excited. I start shouting. That is my verse right there because I understand the power in trusting in God. I have been extremely blessed this year, like super abundantly blessed. There's no words for everything that I have received this year. It's been a tough year, but it has been so rewarding in so many ways. I have had to make some very tough decisions in order to protect my energy. And in that I've seen God for who he truly is. I have cut down the noise and the interference. I've turned off my social media notifications for a while, and I do that every year, but specifically this year during this time. I just decided to get really quiet and decided to not really watch the news and look at all the updates and everything that was going on because I needed to really listen and hear to what God is telling me to do in this season. And for me, being obedient to God and listening to him first has been completely rewarding. I have been better able to show up for my customers calmly and sincerely, um, because my vision of the world is not tainted by all of the panic and the chaos. I've been able to focus on my career and show up and give 100% every single day because my mind is clear. I have been able to walk away from people and situations that are not in alignment with my purpose with ease and without regret. And that is a tough one for me. So, being able to really understand who I am and show up boldly because I am not trying to impress anybody else but God has been a game changer for me, you guys. So, here is the thing, or some of the things that I have learned in this journey. The first thing would be to seek God first in everything that you do. If you are a Christian, why not trust him? Why not try him? When you rely on him to make a way, he will literally move mountains for you. And I am talking about that trust that surpasses all understanding. People are going to think you're crazy, but you're going to sit back and be like, nope, God didn't tell me to do that, so I'm not moving. That is the kind of trust I'm talking about. You got to get out of your flesh and you got to stop trying to make things happen on your own and make moves happen on your own. Because when you do that, that is when you take all of those missteps and you get off of your path. The second thing that I have learned is it is okay to disconnect from outside distractions for a while, especially in this social media world. There is so much power in disconnecting and pausing. And again, for those of us that consider ourselves to be followers of Christ, it is very important not to miss the message of Jesus's life and how he made solitude and silence a priority. So think about it, whether it was to make an important decision or deal with his feelings, such as grief or the demands of his ministry, he understood that in order to grow and um, and make sure that he was moving in the right direction, he had to go and be still. He had to get quiet and block his mind out of all of the noise so that he can really hear what he was supposed to be doing and focus. And that is what you have to do. The third thing is that stop looking for validation in others. Disconnect from social media if you are concerned about getting enough likes or comments on a post. I used to be that person. I would post something and no one would like it, and I would feel super defeated. And then I had to go back to my why and center myself. Why did I post this in the first place? Did I post it to get a bunch of likes? Did I post it to get validation? Or did I post it to inspire and encourage someone? And I realized in that moment that I do not post for recognition. I post for inspiration. So the whole purpose of the journey back to me is about inspiring others and encouraging others. And as a result, as long as I am doing that, nothing else matters. It doesn't matter. Um, and the fourth thing would be make sure that you are planted in soil, good, fruitful, nourishing ground. Make sure that you are surrounded by like minded individuals with pure hearts and pure intentions. Not everyone that calls themselves a Christian or spiritual is acting truly or working on living like that. So make sure that you're praying for discernment in this area daily. It is amazing what is revealed in the spirit. Let me tell you guys. Wow. So here's my question for you. What are you doing now? Who are you allowing to shape your world? Business as well as personal. Is it social media? If it is, here's my challenge to you. I am going to call on those that are actually bold and brave enough to try something different. God knows his plans for you. Do you know your plans for you? Do you know how to get there? If you don't, how about you try something different? How about you test God? How about you take a moment and say, yep, I'm going to see what he has to say. It's going to stretch you. It's not going to feel good. But what do you have to lose? So I challenge you to go and be still. Get quiet for a while. Get into God's presence in all areas of your life. And don't move until you hear from him. You don't have to post everything on social media. You don't have to be in hustle mode and full time. Um, Definitely would love to hear from you. What have you learned during this quarantine? Message me or comment below.